Hey guys, welcome back. Orbom here, bringing you another week of our, I guess, competitive deck analysis. I'm really excited about this. We're talking about the decks that have been winning in Japan. This is the week of, I think, December 27th through January 3rd. I was supposed to get this out a day earlier, but there was a lot of video issues. But because of that, I've actually decided to implement this new idea for the series that I wanted to do, which is going to be, instead of looking at every single deck list like we usually do, instead of me live reacting, which is what I usually do, which is what I like doing still, it's going to be me taking out the more interesting and more like prominent deck list that I've been doing well this week, and discussing those in more detail than I would, just to keep the video in a little bit of a shorter length than like the usual 40-45 minutes that it takes me to do it. Now, if you guys like this kind of content, if you like the kind of analysis, don't forget to drop a like on the video if you guys haven't not already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Guys, remember that I do stream BT1 testing on Mondays and BT2 testing or BT4 testing on Tuesdays, or not, yeah, Tuesdays, right? So this format that we're going to be looking at right now is a testing that I do on Tuesdays, which is exciting for me because that means I get to look at these decks, see what's doing well, and kind of try them out myself. So I'm very excited about that. So let's go ahead and hop, let me double check. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So first things first, shout out to DCG Review as always. I'm going to pull up their Twitter real quick. This is their Twitter. Check them out on Twitter. We're going to use their Twitter real quick to showcase how many decks have been doing well this week. So looks like for the first time in how long now, yellow has overtaken green in the overall decks played, which is really exciting. So yellow has 13 decks altogether, green has 11, so it's barely there, but green has not taken the throne this week, which is great because it's about time other decks do really well. We have no blue decks, no pure blue decks, and no pure purple decks, with only 2 black and 2 red. Green and yellow have dominated with 11 each as far as the pure decks go. As far as the hybrids go, of course we have a blue, probably a Rookie Rush, few extra reds, stuff like that. So this is the hybrids. Hybrids are usually different beasts altogether. The only hybrids that do matter are purple, because purple sometimes splashes in yellow and is considered a hybrid through DTCG Review through that little bit of a splash. But yeah, it's just a purple deck, but it plays some yellow cards here and there that help the overall strategy. Here's just a graph, shows you guys how well these colors have been doing since they've begun. But anyways, yes, let's go ahead and move on. Follow them on Twitter, by the way, DTCG Review, excellent source. We're going to go ahead and start with the red deck. Now, red is interesting. They have migrated. We have seen 2 red decks. They're pretty much the same thing. I'll discuss the differences in a little bit. But they are playing Victory Greymon. Now, if you guys don't know what Victory Greymon does, it's actually a kind of slept on card, because turn that off, there we go. It has Digiburst 2, which means you can do it twice if you have the full evolution chain, and you can delete a Digimon with 8,000 DP or less, which is most level 5s, if not all level 5s that are actually relevant. So this thing, when it gets onto the board, can usually delete 2 level 5 Digimon, which is really good for board clearing. It's a 4 cost to evolve, which is the hardest part, which is the biggest issue with this card in my opinion. But being able to clear guys, if you guys remember last week, we talked about some Zed Garurumon, who was there's a few Zed Garurumon decks that are doing really well, and they have the ability to return level 5 or lower Digimon to the hand. So destroying them is pretty much always better. You're giving them less resources to work with. And since this deletes, it doesn't explicitly say level 5, but usually it will be deleting level 5. Maybe some level 6s if you're looking at the yellow popularity with Slash Angemon. There we go. Other than that, it's still standard red. This one's playing 3 Terraforce. There's been a few red decks that have been cutting Terraforce altogether. The other one that won this week is playing Marcus Damon instead. Marcus Damon is actually really interesting in this deck because when you attack with a Greymon, you gain a memory. So that's one way to start with 4 memory in the turn. You just attack with any of your other Greymons. They're also playing this new Lava Dramon, I believe his name is. Let me actually double check. He's a new card, but he's a new level 5 that gives you security attack +1 as well. So because level 5s, more and more people are like getting on the train of playing, instead of like your typical 7 to 8 level 5s, maybe 8 to 9 level 5s. And this is just another one that can give you security attack +1. So you can compare that with the starter deck Greymon and get some security attack +2 in any level 6s. which could be a really good way to just slowly build up Digimon in your raising area. Unlike Omni Blue, that kind of just like splashes things on the board because they have so many options. You, as a red player, you can actually just build up a guy in the raising area, get a whole lot of security attack, and probably swing 3 or 4 times all together for game, as opposed to like 5 or 6 times, or 6 to 7 times if you're playing like blue, which is really nice. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as you would usually see any other red deck would play. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on. I know that some of them are playing Promo Agumon combined with Victory Greymon because it's a Greymon, so it gets more power, as well as Blitz Greymon, so they have more options as far as the Greymons go, because Promo Agumon gives your Greymon Digimon 2,000 power as opposed to this starter deck Agumon that gives them just 1,000. So it's another option for you. And then of course they have the Omnibon. So that's going to be it for the red decks. There's only 2 winning red decks this week. We're going to move on to black because it's the only other tournament, it's the only other color that had very little success, or very small amount of decks doing well. I'm going to start with this deck. This deck's really interesting, right? So the whole concept of this deck is, I'm assuming you use this card's Digiburst to give you 2,000 extra power. Black War Greymon has the Digiburst skill to unsuspend itself, so you could probably do that twice a turn, and then you combine that with Zubagon Punch to give you blocker, reboot, 3,000 more power. If you have 16,000 power in total, once you use the 3,000 extra power, you get blocker, security attack +1, and reboot. So 3 very good skills. He's only playing 2 Alter S, which is very strange to me, being that he's only playing 2 level 7s when black has so many good options for level 7s, especially since he's playing high Andromon, so he can really turbo out into that level 7 too if he wanted to. Other than that though, it looks like pretty standard black. You can just attack a bunch. So it's a little bit more of an aggro black, but still plays the blockers necessary. Like you got the level 3s, the level 5, and the level 4 blockers. So he still has a blocker at every stage, except for level 6, of course. He's just combining it with a little bit more aggression thanks to Zubagon Punch, and of course being able to unsuspend itself and attack over and over again. That's that blacklist. There's another blacklist here. I pulled this up. I'm not really sure there's much to talk about here, but this is a blacklist that focuses a lot on level 5s and 7s, using Kreskarumon, and also using this guy to give you blocker, and then of course you have the other Ragnar Lordmon, like Bry Wildermon or whatever his name is, that also gives you blocker. So you're kind of like a level 7 aggro blocker kind of deck. You have this card that lets you, I believe it lets you block again. Let me double check on that because I'm not 100% sure if that's the same card. I'm pretty sure the TK, or not the TK, the Taikamiya is the one that gives you double blocking, or can not really double blocking, but lets you restand the Digimon when you use blocker. Yeah. So it looks like he's really focusing on the blocking aspect of black, while also becoming really powerful level 7s in Ragnar Lordmon and Alter S. Being able to give your level 7s strong, strong evolution sources is really strong. Is really cool, especially with Alter S and Ragnar Lordmon. That's really nice. So that's gonna be it for the blacks. We're gonna go ahead and move on to, I believe, the green. Now green, as you guys know, green is always the same, so I'm not going to be talking too much about green this week. Green is just pretty much mix and match your megas and which Chaosmon you're playing if you're not playing both. This list is playing actually both. There's benefit to playing both. It really depends on how you want to play your green deck, but the green is pretty much, you have every option in the world, mix and match. You can either play heavy Hercules Kabuterimon, just to get that piercing and resting your opponent's Digimon, heavy Nidhoggmon to board clear some low DP Digimon, as well as like maybe combine it with some other cards that can rest your opponent, such as Lilamon, Lilamon, Flower Cannons, whatnot, and then just put them all back in the bottom of the deck. Mach Gargomon can actually help slow down the game by evolving and resting one of your opponent's Digimon, and then they can't become active, really similar to Pinocchiomon, but it's only the one Digimon. And then of course you have security attack +1, so it's a little bit more aggressive as well. And then of course it really comes down to which Chaosmon you want to play. Chaosmon Valderarm is really good because it gives you the ability to clear 2 Digimon with 7,000 DP or less, which is really powerful whenever you're worried more about like your opponent swarming the board, which is one way to beat green for sure. Like you can outswarm them, but of course at that point you have to worry about Nidhoggmon, which is its own issue. But if you play some things that are above 5,000 DP and just fill the board up as much as you can and then start swinging for a game all at once, Chaosmon's a good way to deter that. Well, the other one, the regular Chaosmon, that can just attack a Digimon that's standing and do piercing damage, is a little bit more aggressive, doesn't rely on making your opponent rest as well, which is really nice because you have to spend a lot of resources to rest your opponent, whether you're using option cards, or using Lilamon's Digiburst, or using Hercules Kabuterymon's Digiburst. Sometimes resting your opponent is a little bit of a pain, so being able to attack unsuspended Digimon with this Chaos one over here is pretty good too. So it really just depends on how you want to play green, which cards you like the most. It's very meta dependent, but yeah, as you can see, all green decks are playing a mix and match of Chaos Mons and a mix and match of which green megas they want to play. Other than that, like, everything else is really similar. Like, you have so many good options for level 3s, 4s, and 5s. I'm not gonna showcase every green deck. There's like a good 11 that you guys can check out if you guys want to check them out. DCG Review. I'll follow them on Twitter. Links are all there. Let's go ahead and move on to yellow. Now, yellow is really interesting, because yellow has like pretty much 3 main ways to play. You could either aggressively summon level 3s using cards like the Angelwomon. Angelwomon has the gives your opponent a security attack -2 on evolution, but more importantly, its evolution skill is you can play level 3 from hand when attacking, which is really good if you have 3 or less security, of course, which is really good if you have Bushi Agumon and Lucemon. So Lucemon lets you recover a security, while Bushi Agumon gives you haste, so it gives you really big aggro potential. And then there's of course the minus security, the minus DP deck. Let's see if I have it over here. Here we go. The minus DP deck, which is going to be Slash Angemon, War Greymon, trying to delete your opponent through DP reduction. Then you can play Chaosmon to go on top of that. And then, of course, you can actually combine that with what I was talking about with the Angelwomon. My favorite list that I've seen so far are the ones that play both Angelwomon to aggro out Bushi Agumon during the end game to win the game faster, or Lucemon to recover, which is what this deck is doing. And then, of course, there is this one, War Greymon, which is probably my favorite level 5 in yellow, paired with Slash Angemon and War Greymon, because its Digiburst is just Digiburst 2, make one of your opponents lose 4,000 DP. So actually you can combine that with Slash Angemon and make something lose 12,000 DP, which deletes most megas in the game, level 6s. And then also, if you have all these other Digimon that reduce DP upon attacking, you can stack that up even more. Or Greymon has the ability to reduce something by 6,000 DP when attacking, and then it restands itself to attack again. So it's a little bit more aggressive of a strategy. But yeah, this deck is playing the combination of what I was talking about earlier, which is going to be summoning level 3s from your hand using Angelwomon, but more importantly, Magnadramon can do the same thing on attacking without having to use an evolution skill, while also letting you recover 2 if you get demolished early game. You can just slap that guy down, recover 2, and then when you attack, you can summon Lucemon to recover even more, or you can summon Bushi to do more attacks because of haste. So lots of options here. I do like this list a lot. I don't know if I like the idea of like slamming together every option in the game, or if I prefer just having one strategy and going with that. I mean, options are always good, right? Don't get me wrong there, but it really depends on how I want to focus the strategy. This one's a little bit interesting because he's playing Valdermon, I believe his name is. So this one's interesting because I'm not really sure if I like it. I tested this. It's a Digiburst 3, so you have to evolve from at least a level 3. So you have 3, 4, 5, and then you have the level 6, right? So, and then it makes the whole board lose 4,000 power, which is really good. But it's really good against like particular strategies, and you're using a lot of resources. Like yellow has a lot of really good Digimon that you can play for cheap and have decent on play effects, so you can't really abuse those while trying to focus on Valder, because this guy has to be using it as a Digiburst 3, and then 4,000 is not that much. Like I'd rather just use War Greymon and use 4,000 on a single Digimon than 4,000 on a whole board, because at least that way it's easier to Digiburst level 5. And then also you have Slash Angemon that can evolve immediately on top of it to finish things off. This one's not playing any War Greymon, it's just focusing on the Valder arm. And of course, you have Sylphimon here. Now, I believe Sylphimon, let me double check here. I believe Sylphimon is cool, but it only reduces things to 1,000 power if it's a level 4, I believe. Change one of your opponent's level 4 Lord base DP to 1,000, which is like, if you're doing against a level 4, you should be already killing them most of the time anyways, if you combine it with like, what's his name, Salamon. And then you have this Gatomon as well. They both do minus 1,000 DP while attacking, if your security is 3 or less, which you can control with cards like Mekomon. So you have the options for it already. I do like TK, or Tai, again I keep saying TK. being able to gain, I believe, gain a memory upon reduction of a DP to 0, which I can double check real quick just to make sure I'm not giving you guys any wrong information here. Yeah, Takamiya. So when your opponent's DP is deleted by 0, gain 1 memory. Yep, that's pretty nice. It's pretty okay. I like it. The list is interesting. I'm just not super confident in Valderarm, but if it works, it works. Like, this guy's clearly making it work. Sylphimon, Mistymon, hard drop maybe afterward. Finish a lot of guys off. So, and then of course we do have Shine Greymon putting in the work like usual. He's playing both Rise Greymons, which I do like a lot. Both of them giving you the ability to play down Tamers from your hand. This through Digiburst, this through Evolution. He's playing a 1-of Chaosmon. I would like to see that as a 2-of personally, because that way it's easier to just go slash engine. Because the cool thing I like about Shine Greymon with Chaosmon being in the game is that now you're less reliant on summoning a bajillion Tamers immediately. Now you can just kind of take the game a little bit easier. You're not super stressed out about summoning a bunch of Tamers. Evolve in a Shine Greymon, maybe delete 1 or 2 things, and then finish things off by summoning a Chaosmon. And then that would be like super board clear without having to rush your Tamers down on the board. He's still playing good old Pat and then 1 Labramon. Other than that, it looks like, the list looks good. You got 2 blockers to make sure the game isn't you losing immediately. 2 slash Angemons for more level 6s that can help clear the board. I do like this list a lot. This is probably my favorite Shine Greymon list I've seen in a while. I'm not really sure how confident I am in him playing. Well, first of all, he should not be playing Salamon in general. He should be playing Tsukaimon because, you know, Omnimon exists still, especially with those 2 Omni Red decks we just saw. But yeah, maybe like 4 Tsukaimon instead. But overall, I'm still, the hardest part for me when it comes to Shine Greymon is the level 3s, because you do want to play some 2-drops just to have the options, but there's so many good level 3s with good inheritables that you don't want to just miss out on your inheritables. But this is like bare bones when it comes to Digimon, right? You're playing 12 rookies, or 4, 8, 12. He's playing 13 rookies, 12 level, it's only 13, 4, 8, 12, yeah, 13 rookies. 12 level 4s, 8 of them being blockers, 1 of them being a 1 evolution cost. So once again, you really are trying to rush out the shine. You're playing 8 level 5s, all of them being rise, and then of course you're playing 6 of these and 1 of these. It really depends on how useful to me Slash is. I'd probably even cut 1 Slash to play a second 1 of these. I'd prefer that over, but it really depends on how consistent you're feeling that day. His tamers are also kind of strange. Checking, okay. His tamers are also kind of strange because, like, this thing rests on its own upon DP reduction, so you don't get the benefit of this card playing Shine, which is weird. Like, they don't stack, right? Because you're using Shine to rest your tamers, right? To delete guys, and I don't think Shine gives you the option. I think you just have to rest everything. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you just have to rest whatever's on your board. Shine Gray. Double check real quick. When did you rest all of your Diablo tamers? Yeah, so you have to rest them all, which means you're not going to be able to get the benefit of playing TK to gain a memory while also using Shine Greymon's ability to board clear. This really only pairs well combined with this or this, and they have to be on different turns in the turn you use Shine Greymon, which I guess is still relevant in its own right, but it is something to keep in mind. I guess that's probably why you would play a higher count of Slash Angemon, because you can pair that really well with playing the Rise Greymon, summoning these guys. This guy, I've always agreed that Kyrie doesn't need to be that high of a count because people are not going to put you at 3 security until they win the game. So Kyrie is pretty much just there as an option, but never really that necessary. And he's opting out of playing the other TK, which is also fine, I suppose. It's one of those things where, like, it's a 2-drop, so it's easy to play, but at the same time, it's not going to deter your opponent from attacking security that much because they are just going to try to swing for game, not swing for here and there for picking. So that's my opinions on the matter. But anyways, we're almost done with this video. We're going to go over the last 3 decks pretty quickly to keep this video pretty short. Purple, Anubismon with Magnadramon for recovering security. Lucamon, which can be paired with Anubismon as well. Other than that, he's playing some Millenniumon. Everything else is pretty standard. A bunch of really good options. A bunch of really good security cards and Black Gatomon and whatnot. So this is pretty standard. Purple, love purple. It's my favorite deck right now at the moment, so happy with that. This is going to be really cool. I do actually want to talk about this card in particular. I don't remember the name of the card, so we're going to talk about that really quick. Like, hold on, just trying to make sure that I don't have any DCM. I don't get any problems with my music in the background, but there we go. Aqua Viper is really cool in Rookie Rush. Return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand to return up to 2 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to their owner's hands, which is great because level 4 Digimon are blockers, right? So you return them all to the hand, and then you get some free attacks. You usually are starting with like a high amount of deep memory because you're playing Davis, which is just a good card in Green-Blue Rookie Rush. Other than that, you're playing Lobomon to evolve over Davis, so you have that option to attack, and there's just standard Rookie Rush. So you got a lot of good options as well. This is just another flower cannon, so boom bam. And then of course Mega Zoo has been doing really well in Japan as well. I've seen some yellow variants. This is a really cool variant I wanted to try out myself. It's just level 7 Mega Zoo. You play, of course, the good cards that are options that are good for you. In Puppamon, Magnadramon for recovery, Volcanic Dramon for board clearing, a bunch of other guys that you can combine with Raglan Lordmon, Omnimon, or Omnimon Ultra S. So really strong cards, and of course the new Chaosmon. You play some red babies just so you can use this quickly, or I'm sorry, you play the red card so that you can play Gaia Force. You play the blue baby so you can play all of these cards as well. No real need to play Hammer Spark in a Mega Zoo deck because you're going to make sure your opponent starts with 10 memory almost every time anyways. Being able to play Kaiser Nail though in a Mega Zoo deck is super cool. Letting you summon these guys off the level 7s is super sick. Demi Vmon, you guys know the drill, jamming, and then everything else is really cool. I'm really excited about this deck, but we're gonna end the video there. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to all those really good jazz. Let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite deck you've seen so far, and what decks you guys want to try or want to see me test in the future. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.